Hello parents to the Wildcat class of 2024. Welcome to our online version of the Rising Ninth Grade Parent Night. Earlier in the month, the counselors from West Johnston High School went around to the middle schools in our area to share a presentation with the 8th grade students about what coming to high school, and specifically high school at West Johnston High School, looks like. We want to take the opportunity now to share this presentation with you so that you and your child can be on the same page and start planning for high school. I know this isn't as fun as getting to do this in person, coming out and walking the halls and seeing exactly where your child is going to be. But with as up in the air as things are right now, we wanted to take an opportunity to give you information and help you be in a position where you can plan and know what is the right thing for your child's future, even if everything else is a little up in the air right now. Were we able to do this in person, the first person I would introduce you tonight would be Miss Swartz, our principal and fearless leader at West Johnston High School. And then I would introduce you to our administrative staff and assistant principals, Miss Barber, Mr. Jones, Mr. Latimer, and Miss Finch. Now, unfortunately, I'm not able to actually introduce you to them in person, but I did want to give you an opportunity to start putting names to faces and seeing the individuals who are the leaders at your child's future high school. Now, probably the first thing that most parents want to know, especially if it's their first time having a child in high school, is what are the requirements? And we want your child to understand these requirements the day they walk in the door, because the goal is to get them to walk out of that door with a diploma in their hand. And to do that, they're going to have to meet these requirements. 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, 4 social studies, 3 science, 4 concentration electives, 8 additional electives, and health and PE, which totals up to 28 credits. Obviously, the core classes, your English, math, social studies, and science, those are largely determined for your child. Some may take honors classes, some may take standard. There are also advanced placement course options in there, but largely speaking, these classes are predetermined. Where there is a lot of choice is electives. Now you'll see at the bottom of this slide, there is a link to the Johnston County Schools course catalog. I've taken the opportunity to add some of the course information here for you guys to see, just to give you an idea of what some of the things you might see in the course catalog. The most helpful thing for your child right now is the description of the various elective classes that they can take. So throughout the course catalog, and I want to be clear that the course catalog is for all of Johnston County high schools. Not all of the courses listed in the course catalog are available at West Johnston High School, nor are they all open to freshmen. So please refer to the registration form your student received to see what their particular options are for next year. No one high school in Johnston County offers everything listed. So I'll go through a few things that are specific to West Johnston, but I wanted to give an example of what you can look for in the standard courses or in the course catalog. So for each elective listed, you'll actually see what prerequisite is for that course, and that's something, is there something they have to take before they can take that class? And any other important information, specifically a description of what that class offers. So this, for example, is core and sustainable construction. And it tells you here what the course covers. And for our students who may be interested in carpentry later, this is a prerequisite for that course. So they would have to take core and sustainable construction to start. CompTIA and theater arts beginning. We've got some more examples with course descriptions. So I highly encourage you and your child to go find the link on the Johnston County Schools website and read through the courses they're interested in. Or, of course, they have no idea what it is, to see if it is something they are interested in. So now that we've kind of talked about what courses they have to take and the difference between core classes and electives, one thing that is different for a lot of middle schoolers is our schedule and how our school is set up. We have a block schedule, and so students will take 4 classes each semester. Those classes are 90 minutes each, and they will earn 1 credit for each class for the vast majority of all the classes. So for all intents and purposes, that class will earn 1 class unless it says differently on their registration form later on down the road. Everything for this year, 1 credit per class. So they will start out the year, they will take 4 classes. Those classes will each be 90 minutes long. In December, they will take their finals for that class. And then in January, when they come back after Christmas break, they will take 4 brand new classes. And so that's 8 classes per year with the potential to earn 32 credits. Now, as we mentioned, there are only 28 required for graduation, but I don't want anyone to start getting ideas that they don't have to pass all their classes because, whether it's college, whether it's getting a good job, whether it's just getting the most out of your education, we want you to pass all of the classes you take, and we expect no less of you than that because you're all capable of doing it. So, middle school versus high school, what are some things to consider? Well, first, I mentioned the length of class, that 90 minutes. That's a lot longer than what most kids are used to right now in middle school, so that will take some adjusting, as will course rigor. The courses we take in high school are a little bit more challenging, and more is expected of the students. And this goes hand in hand with the next thing, and that is self-advocacy. One of the things I like to say is that in high school, we are not raising children, we are raising adults. And obviously, we do know they're still children, and we take a lot of that into consideration. But the idea is they are going to be going out into the real world in 4 short years. And we want them to start practicing for that real world. We want it to be their safe place that they can start advocating for themselves and speaking up. So if a child has a problem in a class or with a teacher, we encourage that child to go speak to that teacher. If a child is having a problem in schools, we also encourage them to come speak to the counselors and, start trying to solve that problem on their own first. We're definitely not saying that parents can't or shouldn't be involved. We just want students to start practicing asking those things, setting those appointment times, because in the real world, they're going to get out on their own. They're going to have to call the doctor. They're going to have to work with that coworker they don't get along with. These are just real world skills, and you don't want to have to learn them on the fly. So we're here to practice, and we're here to get them set to help them prepare for that. One of the other different things about high school is just the vast majority of, or the incredible amount of sports and clubs that are available for students to participate in. Here is just a run through of some of the clubs we offer at West Johnston High School. As you can see, it takes up 2 full pages. And the beauty of high school is if you don't see a club you're interested in, you can always have your child, they can start a club themselves. They can go through the process and get that club to be a part of West Johnston, because we want our students to be we don't want them to just be students at our school. We want them to be active parts of our school community. We want them to be engaged and participating. So whether that's being in a club, being in a sport, which we have plenty of those as well. If your child is interested in athletics at West Johnston, you can look under the athletics tab on the West Johnston High School website, or on the linked version of this PowerPoint below, you can click on that link and go directly to that page, and that'll lead you to some answers about athletics. The easiest thing right here to answer, because it's a common question, is eligibility for athletics. All freshmen who were promoted into the 9th grade are eligible for fall sports. So in the spring, however, that becomes a little bit different because they have to have passed 3 of their 4 previous classes the previous semester. But as far as fall sports and winter sports, all we have to do is be promoted into the 9th grade. And of course, you do have to go through the process of trying out for the sport and making sure you have all the appropriate health forms turned in and signed. Some basic things to keep an eye out for. Open gym for basketball begins in mid-June. Football camp, coaches will be coming to your child's school in May with more information and dates, hopefully. If not, if we're still in the middle of this craziness, then keep an eye on the school website, the West Johnston website, for more information. volleyball, you can call the school for more information, as well as for soccer, and tennis tryouts are the first week in August. So if your child is interested in any of those sports, there's the information to get you started. Another thing that we're super proud of at West Johnston High School is that we are the home of the AP Capstone program. We are the only high school in all of Johnston County that offers this, and that is an opportunity to start taking advanced placement classes freshman year. It's a reading and writing intensive program, and it is not open to all students, unfortunately. This is open to students who have already completed one in 8th grade, and they will have received an invitation to apply. It is a very rigorous program, and with completing other AP classes along their high school career, can get a designation, a specific diploma through with the AP Capstone designation. Another common question that we get as children get older and come into high school is about driver's ed. So to be eligible for the summer classes, a student must be 14 and a half years old by the start of the class. And the next scheduled parent meeting will be held in the West Johnston High School cafeteria on April 30th, all things going well. If not, again, that will probably be rescheduled, and you can keep an eye on the website for more information about that. This is really the meat of what we want to kind of talk about with you right now, and that is registration for next year. Coming into high school, as you saw before, all students will be taking core classes at math, science, history, and social studies. And as freshmen, they'll also be taking health and PE. And we often get asked about honors versus standard courses. At West Johnston High School, we place students in honors and standard courses based on teacher recommendation, as well as, and most specifically, data that come from their 8th grade scores. And so students will be placed accordingly, and we just ask that parents will look over that. You'll hear about that. I can't promise you when we'll hear about that, actually, just because things are kind of up in the air right now, but do know that that's how your child will be placed in those sections. Now, the thing that we're most worried about is the backside of this form. And this is where your child will pick their electives. This is the list of electives that are open to 9th graders. They either have no prerequisites or are otherwise open to 9th graders. You'll notice that there are bold headings throughout the chart here. Those are the categories for each of these particular electives. So you can kind of look under those headings in these Johnston County course catalog if you're looking for descriptions. There are a couple of common questions for these classes, band being one of them. So according to this right here, band is a year-long commitment. It takes up 2 elective slots. So your child will select both of these. And the way that this works is basically every child will choose 6 electives by numbering them 1 through 6 in the column beside it. So if band is your first priority, you'll put beginning band as 1 for fall, beginning band spring as 2. ROTC is also another year-long elective. So for right here, if your child is interested in ROTC, they would put military science as 1 or advanced military science as 2. Or they may, put that ranking slightly different depending on what they're interested in. But if for either one of those, just make sure the numbering is consecutive. Choices 4, 5, and 6 will be entered as alternative electives in Power School. So those are the classes your child will get if for some reason there's not room in the their first choice classes, if the class doesn't make, or if there are any other problems there. One thing that we do ask you to do is to cross out fashion merchandising in the 3rd column at the bottom. Unfortunately, we will not have that class at West Johnston this coming year. So just go ahead and cross it off because we don't want your child to waste an elective on that one. Now, I know that this kind of was a quick run through without all the answers and or the ability to even ask questions. So these are the email addresses for the counselors at West Johnston. Miss Crease is handles the N through Z portion of the alphabet. I am Katie McAnally. I handle the A through F portion, and Miss Moynihan handles G through M. If you have any specific questions, you can reach out, and we'll be happy to answer your questions as your child moves towards being a West Johnston Wildcat. Freshman orientation will be in August of 2020, so keep a watch on the West Johnston website for more information. As we go through this very interesting and different time, we hope that this answers a few questions and gives you just a little bit more of an idea of what you're moving into next year and the confidence to help your child select a list of courses that will be right for them as they prepare to come over to West Johnston High School. We are so excited to have them and thoroughly enjoyed meeting them when we were at their middle schools. And we look forward to getting to meet you all in person at our orientation and hope that we can have at least a few other videos that give you an insight into what a wonderful place West Johnston is to call home. We hope you have a wonderful evening.